Hi guys, welcome to Environmental Science. I am Dr. Kelly Varga. I will be joining you on the adventure virtually from time to time, but really mainly online for environmental science for the rest of our 15 weeks of fall semester 2022. I wanted to take the time to first and foremost give a face to the name and introduce myself, and also introduce you to some aspects about the course that I think are very important that you become familiar with. So with that, again, welcome to day one. Most of you may have clicked on the link for opening up your Canvas shell to kind of move around a little bit. But again, this video is really aimed at trying to help you navigate, to stay on top of material, and to be able to locate material when necessary. The first thing I really want to make sure that is abundantly clear for this class is that this is a completely online, self-paced, self-guided class. What that means is we will not be meeting virtually. We will not be having lectures virtually. This is something that is designated for those individuals that are either unable to come to campus and take face-to-face courses because of jobs or other time commitments. This is also designated for some students who are visiting with us from out of state. They may be in other locations. And so again, the goal of this course, aside from the main objectives, which we're going to move through, is really to be a self-designated, self-paced course for you to learn at your own pace and speed, of course, meeting the assignments and the requirements at the due dates and on time. So with that, I want to start with sort of a general introduction to Canvas, because I think this is actually a huge problem that I've encountered with students that take this class as an online course. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to walk you through, again, how to navigate and again, where to really find the most important material. And remember that you have a whole course shell that has all of the material necessary for you. So I'm going to share my screen here for you. And with that, again, your screen, your home screen is going to look a little bit different when you come into your Canvas shell. This was actually something I realized this past semester with other students in this course, was that when you guys click on your home page, you're not going to see the dashboard. What you're going to see is a series of different assignments that are due across all of your courses that you are signed up for. So you're not going to see these individual little course shells. You're just going to see links that you can click on for when assignments are due. Now, if that is the only place that you're coming to check in for this class, you're going to miss a whole mess of information for this course. And most importantly, you're going to miss opportunities of where there's study material, of where there's additional resources for the class for you to be the most successful. So the first and foremost thing for this course being, again, completely online, if you have face-to-face classes, don't worry about those, just focus on this class alone. The first thing I want to guide you to is when you come in, instead of just simply clicking on the assignments, go and click on your dashboard, and your dashboard will bring up your individual courses, right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to look for your environmental section. Now I want to pause here. What you're going to notice is I'm teaching 2 online sections of environmental science. So this video that I'm making is going to go for both sections. But with that, I want to point to another obvious place that you would have been going for material, which would have been your lab section. And what you'll notice, if some of you have already done so, right, is that if you are in section 071, you would theoretically be turning to 0371 for your lab material, but you're going to meet this gigantic information. And this is for both sections of my environmental science class. As you come in and you think, oh, this is where my lab section is going to be. I've tried to make this as streamlined and as easy as possible. Everything that you will need for the class, because again, if you were taking this face-to-face, you would be meeting in a face-to-face lab setting, which would be a separate course shell. But because this is an all-in-one pack and play, I'm going to try and make it as easy for you and say, don't even come here for laboratory material. Again, go back to the course itself right? I'm going to click on this particular section. And here you will find everything that you're going to need for lecture and for lab. So again, number one thing, when you come into your home page of Canvas, make sure that you click on the dashboard so that you can see your courses, and make sure to go into the physical course shell. The reason is, again, you're going to miss a whole bunch of information that's in here, including, again, access to the syllabus, announcements, which are going to be the most fundamental way I'm going to be able to contact you and reach out to you about information, your assignments, discussion boards, modules. This has got a whole deeper dive of information, much beyond just coming into the homepage and clicking on the assignment. So again, can't stress that enough. Once you come into the shell, you're going to be greeted with this homepage. The homepage here starts with a nice pretty picture of environmental science, but the very first thing you're going to be hit with is, boom, right here you can download a fully accessible copy of the syllabus. If you're like me, I like to hard copy, hold on to things. So maybe you want to print this out so that as you're moving through your section, you can check mark off, you know, okay, I know that I've met my smart book assignments, or I know that I've done these things. It's a guidepost for you to know kind of how to set things up, right? Additionally, I've provided for you, again, the goal of this course, what we aim to do by the time we're done with our 15-week class. It also provides for you the information required for the book, and I'll talk about this extensively, but again, if you're looking for what is the required, this is that platform. And again, I'm going to talk about that in just a second. The additional things I really want to focus in on here, because I think they're incredibly important, is that this, again, is a fully online, non-asynchronous, non-synchronous class. It is a self-paced course. Again, it is designed because we understand at the university there are students that need to take things at their own speed just due to outside requirements, right? We want to make sure we meet those requirements. So the very first thing, a working and reliable internet service. You're going to need this. You're going to need to have this at all times. This is the way you're going to submit materials. This is ways that you're going to engage with me if we need to meet in office hours. This is a way that you're going to complete and take your exams. You are also going to need a working, stable computer. Now, what you will notice is that for some of the SmartBook assignments and some of the lab assignments, you can do that on a tablet. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot complete your exams on a tablet. You have to be physically at a hard computer. That can be a laptop, or it can be a physical, old school computer. You can come to campus. If you are already taking other classes and this is just one that you're taking online, you have plenty of resources. We have the computer labs. We have an ability to check out a potential laptop if necessary. And again, I've got a little link here for you that pops up to the campus resources page for you to gain access to those things. You must complete your exams on a computer with a working, stable internet that also has a camera, because you will be proctored during your exams. Again, you will need the required online platform, which is what I will talk about shortly. And again, you will need proctoring and lockdown browser extensions, which I will talk about shortly as well. In case you forget what I look like, there is my mugshot. And again, here's information of how to contact me if necessary. As this is a completely and virtual online learning experience, I'm not expecting that any of you would be meeting with me in regular office hours, although if you are on campus, you are absolutely more than welcome to come and visit me during office hours. But otherwise, if you click on this little Calendly link, it's going to bring you up to selected time slots that I have available for my traditional face-to-face office hours that you can schedule 15-minute appointments with me. You just click on this, enter in your name, enter in the section, and then you would enter in the information that you would like to discuss with me. That sends a confirmation email to me, goes into my calendar, and now I know, okay, I'm seeing such and such on this date and time for our regular scheduled office hours for environmental science. So again, here is a way to get in touch with me outside of just direct email. All right, the last thing I have on this page, again, is course summary, assignments for you, another place you can find assignments. But the biggest thing I wanted to direct you to is the getting started, right? Because this is an online class, sometimes the most confusing part is, I don't know where to start with all this information. You're telling me it's self-paced, but where in the world do I begin? Well, I have it kind of designated quite simply for you. You can just click here, and it is going to take you to the Start Here section. Now, if you didn't want to go through that and you wanted to just look at the modules, you can just click on modules, and the same thing is going to come up at the top. When I finish this video, I'm going to also put the welcome video up here and send it as an announcement so that you have lots of different ways to access this material. You will notice that as you move down, because right, the first thing we're going to want to do as students is look down and see, when's my first assignment due? What do I have to do? The first thing you're going to notice is that at the end, you're going to have a Canvas orientation quiz. You are also going to see that some other modules are open, but what you'll notice, it's not the same for me because I'm the instructor, is that this module is going to be locked until tomorrow, meaning I don't even want you to start to jump ahead. I really want you to engage with all of this information so you know the fundamental layout of the course. First and foremost, where do I find information? How do I set up an office hour time with Dr. Varga? Did I watch the opening video that's going to be in the Canvas orientation quiz? Absolutely, right? So here it moves through again, all of the information that you would need. What's the objectives? What's the overview? How to find information on campus if needed. If you are a person that needs additional resources, or you are an individual who needs to get in touch with disability services, these are all resources for you. Then after you complete this, you will move through the course information and overview. Again, all of the overview of the class, my information, again, just to be redundant, how to expect and navigate through online participation, all of the expectations that are required to be successful in this class, online policies, and again, I'm going to come back to this one in just a minute for the online platform, and again, information for exams, what to study. So there's lots of good information that if you just went to the homepage and just started chucking through assignments, you're going to miss this really valuable stuff for you. That's a resource. Okay, additionally, I want to start with just the course expectations. You're going to move through this. The very first thing I put on here is this. This course is not to be confused with, it's online, I'll just take care of it when I have to take care of it. The number one thing I hear every single year I teach this course, Dr. Varga, I fell behind. I don't know how to get back on top of it. I didn't realize this was going to be so much material. I didn't realize that I was going to have to set up my own calendar for this. Absolutely. This course is going to be time consuming. Treat this as you would any other class if you were attending it face to face, right? Physically set time aside throughout your week. Okay, I'm going to spend 40 minutes on Mondays and Wednesdays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, or I'm going to spend an hour every Friday, Saturday, Sunday and work on the material for this class. I cannot stress enough how important that is for you. It may seem like, out of sight, out of mind, and I'll just click on the assignments when they're due. But by the time you start to take the exams, you're going to go, I don't understand this material. I don't understand why I'm doing so bad on this information. Well, if you're not being honest with yourself that you're not utilizing the time before the exams to physically prepare like any other exam that you would, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Additionally, if you're just clicking through the assignments and not really retaining the information, or you're just quickly scanning over the PowerPoints, well, then again, you're really not taking in the information that's required for being successful on the physical exams. Again, I cannot stress, take it from the advice of everyone else who's taken this class before you, that it never fails at the halfway point of this class, of this semester. Students come to me and say, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I can't. And we have to have the honest conversation in office hours. How are you studying? How much time are you dedicating to the class? Are you really going back through and using the recharge for, going back through the course material? Are you laying out objectives and study material? No. Well, then we got to be honest about how we're preparing. Are we studying in a room that's only got, are we studying in a room that's inundated with kids and dogs and spouses and other things? Or we're trying to study at work when my boss is asking me to do other things? Not going to be successful. So again, it's up to you to understand what works for you. If you're not sure, please set up office hours. Let's get ahead of this before anything else. Okay, the only other thing I want to focus on before we move into the requirements for the platform and learning system is late work assignments and incompletes. Yes, you are in a virtual environment, but you physically chose this virtual environment. You chose the online platform. Yes, this course is online, but that is not the excuse that is now different because we are traditionally back face-to-face. This was a course that was offered before COVID. And again, as I've described earlier, this is a course that is designed for students to be self-paced, self-guided for those that are just kind of looking to fulfill this requirement or maybe have other obligations that they can work on this at a later time in the day or in the beginning time of the day that they couldn't meet during those other traditional hours. Now, what I want to make sure we're extremely clear of here, your job is not an excuse for you to not do this work. Let me repeat that. Your job is not an excuse to me for you to not complete this work. I will not give you a pass for that. If you are sick with COVID, you must provide a physical doctor's note to me, just like any of my students face-to-face would. So again, this is not an, oh, because I'm not seeing you, I can use a multitude of kind of different excuses to not complete work. That's not justifiable, right? You are expected, just like my face-to-face students, to complete and complete on time. Additionally, there are some dates that are available for you that you are aware of in terms of the drop dates and everything else. As far as incompletes go, I always put this out there at the beginning because, again, I think some students think, oh, I'll just finish this work at the end of the class. And then they realize I'm getting an F and I can't recover. I've missed 45%, of this work. Oh, I'll just take an incomplete. And then Dr. Varga will let me just make that work up, when I can finally get to it. Not correct. Please read this. I will not give you any justification without extreme documentation that must go through the office of the registrar and must be put on your file. And I will not give you an incomplete at all for any work that you are missing in terms of over 25% of the coursework. So if you know that, unfortunately something is happening in your personal space or in your personal life, or unfortunate sickness or illness or family or death, that you are going to be unable to complete the course, you can still drop by a specific date. You can withdraw by specific dates. But if you have completed, 75 to 80% of the work of the course, and now you find that at the end of the course, maybe something is going on, you still need justification for that. But that is the only time if you are missing 25% or less. The sooner you contact me, which I understand completely, sometimes that's going to be the last of your thoughts. But a week of material going by, you're still within maybe the 5 to 7% range of material. 2 weeks, now you're getting close to 15. 3 weeks, there is no reason that someone, that you or someone in your family cannot be contacting the registrar's office or the university on your behalf, should it be that serious that you cannot complete work. Again, I don't wish for that for anyone, but it is something that needs to be stated. Okay, from here, again, as you move through these modules, because these will be the only modules you can move through, look at the breakdown of how you will be graded. The biggest thing to remember is laboratory is a necessary and required component of this class. You must pass with a 60% higher of all of your laboratory material in order to pass both lecture and lab, because at the end, you're going to get a combined grade. Now, that may seem scary, but it's actually a benefit for most students. If you didn't do well on 1 or 2 exams, or if you missed an assignment or you didn't do so great on one, the lab is going to really help to kind of fill in those points at times. So make sure you're really hitting the mark on both lecture and lab. So that brings me to the final and last aspect in this welcome video that I really want to make sure to kind of navigate to, which is the required platform for this course. So what you will notice is in the class, I have a little section here that's called McGraw-Hill. When you sign up for the class, right, and if you have already gone through the bookstore and received your access code, when you click on here, my page, of course, is going to look a little bit different because I'm already integrated because I'm the instructor. You're going to see a welcome page that takes you to, that says, click to enter into the Connect section of this class. Once you get in, you're going to see something that looks very similar to, let me go down. A page that looks like this. Right? So this is going to be your opening page. You can redeem your access code from the bookstore that you've purchased. You can purchase the access here, which I will tell you is cheaper than the bookstore. You can have a Connect and printed textbook rental if you would like. So again, if you're a person like myself, I need a physical hard copy. I like to have a book in front of me. Now, again, the only thing I need you to have is the online platform. So just purchase this here and you can find and rent the textbook through Chegg, through Amazon, through lots of other places that wouldn't jump this price for you. And then you can save some paper as well. So these are the 3 places that you would kind of enter in. I want to also preface, I do completely and totally understand that sometimes we don't have access to our financial aid for the first couple of weeks, right? So what you will notice here, as you click on this, as you click in McGraw-Hill and sign up for the class, is you can gain access to a free 14-day trial. Now, I want to make this abundantly clear. What you will notice is that your first assignment for your SmartBook is not due until the end of next week. I did that strategically because once you sign up for this free 14-day access, once that 14-day access is over, it's over. And you cannot re-sign up under a new email address because then your grades for the assignments you did complete will not link. It will not link to the class, and I won't accept that. So just like there are requirements for the class, you have to purchase this. Your exams are going to be taken here. Your laboratory assignments, for the most part, are here, and all of your SmartBook assignments are here, in addition to access to the book. So I can't get around it. You need to purchase it. But if you know you're waiting on financial aid and it doesn't come through this week, don't use this code. You have until the end of next week to start this access. Excuse me. And what I would do is, what you're going to notice, all of your SmartBook assignments are due on Friday. So if by Thursday you still don't have your SmartBook or access to your financial aid, then Friday I would start the free access, right? You picking up on my drift here? You want to give yourself as much time in that 14 days as possible, because once it's closed, and you cannot jump around to different emails. It won't link the grades. And again, I can't accept them because it will be integrated here. If you have questions on this, please make sure to ask me. I also want to reference you under modules again. I have a whole page specifically designated to requirements, the platform, some helpful links from their website, guidance, and again, help regarding the payment. Please make sure to reference this. So under McGraw-Hill Connect, once you do sign up, you're going to see that there's lots of different places you can access material. Once you go into the Connect section, again, this is the instructor view. Your view is going to look a little bit different, but it's going to show you everything that's going to be due, right? your SmartBook assignments, your lab assignments, and everything in between. If I switch into the student view, this is what it'll look like when you come in. Boom, here's all of the assignments. Here's everything you're going to need to have access to. The biggest thing I want to preface you and kind of showcase is that you have access to the book here, right? That's a great feature. Absolutely, you should have access to the book. This is where all of the information for your exams are going to come from. Yes, I have PowerPoints that you can move through, but really, these aren't big chapters. These are very short and sweet chapters. They're maybe 10 to 12 pages. You are going to be going through about a chapter to maybe 2 chapters a week. Designate your reading as the time that you would have been in class learning that material. That's my biggest piece of advice. The other thing I want to showcase for you, coming back into the regular section, is that underneath, again, the modules, information and what to study for exams, I've got some information of how to recharge your SmartBook assignments that you're going to complete. I've got a video that shows you how to do this. You can, once you complete your SmartBook assignments, recharge them, not to change your grade, but to go back through and use those questions as prep for your exam to keep going through and identifying what material do I know and what material do I not know. So again, this is why I want you to move through the modules before getting into the material. The last little bit of information, and again, if you have any questions referencing this information, please set up some time to come visit me, is some last little sections here. So the first thing is how to write a lab report. This section, which will be embedded anytime you are required to write a lab report, is a self-help section. How to write a lab report directions, an example lab report of kind of what I've just, determined to be an A+ paper. And again, an old video that I made many moons ago that walks you through kind of the guideline requirements for how to write a lab report. Remember, this is not the lab report. This is just an example of how to write a lab report that will be required as one of your lab assignments. The last thing is the research project. This has everything just as a reference point for everything you will be moving through for your research project. This is just a place that is kind of a guidepost for everything that you would need. Once you get to those assignments, you'll see reference back to this page. But if you want to get a head start, again, all of these modules are open today for you to move through. Tomorrow, module 1 will open and you can begin the material. Okay, other than that, the very last thing, if you have any questions about the class, any questions in reference to, I wonder if she posts this, or I wonder if somebody else had any questions about this. If you click on the discussions board, you'll see I have a Q&A discussion forum. This is a place that I will try and check, 1 to 2 times a week if you aren't emailing me directly or coming to see me in office hours. But this is a great way for you as classmates to engage with one another. Hey, is anybody else finding out these problems? Hey, is anybody? Now, we as professors are not oblivious to the fact that COVID and online and virtual learning and virtual exam taking has made GroupMe's, where you guys are sharing behind the scenes information of lots of things. I'll just leave that there. We are deeply aware of that too. So just be cognizant of that, be aware that I am aware of that as well. And so I welcome you and encourage you, but again, I hope you will just be in alignment with the student code of conduct when sharing information inside of those forums. If you have any questions about class, hey, I'm having challenges, is anybody else experiencing this? Post it here because you might get some really great information. Additionally, back in the modules, under the McGraw-Hill's help page, there's links for you if you are experiencing issues with that. Okay, so that is the 10,000 foot level of everything that you will kind of move through today. Like I said, this will be posted as an announcement. You will want to make sure to reference the announcement sections for any future information. I will also post this as a welcome video in modules, and I will probably also post this on the home page as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Again, we are in this kind of unique virtual space. I would absolutely like to encourage you to reach out to me so that I know what's going on as soon as possible and we can address those questions together. I welcome you. I am excited to have you. I look forward to engaging with you guys in environmental science. And again, I hope for nothing but success for this semester for you. Take care.